Alright, so jumping straight into one of the first things that you guys need to be aware of is that there's two main platforms that you can use when it comes to building your dropshipping business. But the most important thing is that you need to make sure that you pick one of them and master that before you move on to the second one. So in my opinion, I believe that the two best places for you to build your dropshipping e-commerce business is either eBay or Shopify. The reason why I believe that eBay is a great option is because they've got so many people that pass through the website on a daily basis. I believe it's over 138 million people that go into the website every couple months, which means that you don't have to realistically worry yourself too much about how you're going to get eyeballs on your product. And on the flip side, I believe that Shopify is a good option because you're going to be able to take a little bit more control over your business. So even though you are going to have to think about how you're going to get people to even view your products to buy them in the first place, if you do want to go down the route of using Shopify, you are going to be able to build your business in the way that you want to, and you're not going to have to stick to eBay's rules or any particular business's rules. You're going to be able to set up your own rules and build your business on whatever foundation you want to. So both options have their own pros and their own cons, and they're both good when it comes to starting dropshipping as a beginner. So it all depends on which one you feel more comfortable with. But the most important thing that you need to make sure that you do before you start your dropshipping business is make sure that you pick one platform, master that before you move over to a second one. All right, so moving on to the second thing that you need to be aware of when it comes to building your dropshipping business in 2023, which is that you need to understand the difference between a general and a niche store. So when I say general store, this is where you're going to be selling products from various different categories, and it's not going to be centered around one particular product group. However, a niche store is completely opposite to that, where you're going to be selling a particular type of product from a particular type of category. And the reason why you need to understand the differences between the two is because when it comes time for you to actually build your business, you're going to be able to make your messaging a little bit more clearer for any potential customer that comes across your website. So just to give you an example of the differences between the two, I'm just going to jump into the laptop and I'm going to start off with a niche store. So as you can see, this store is obviously focused on selling items that relate to teeth based on the name of the store and these type of items. As you can see, they've got teeth whitening, teeth cleaning, oral essentials, etc, etc. So this is what a niche store is. All their products are going to be related to one another. However, if we take a quick look at a general store, which is this one right here, I'm just going to click on all products. As we can see, they've got a wide variety of different products. They've got items for kids, they've got a massage gun, they've got lights, they've got cameras, they've got blood pressure monitors, they've got majority of items that people are buying right now, and we can tell by the name of their store, which is We Sell Trends. So they're more focused on selling trending items rather than one particular type of product. Now, the reason why I personally like to build a niche store is because I like to brand my store as an expert around a particular type of product. If I was doing it this way, it's going to be a little bit hard for me to say I'm specializing in one particular product group. And the way that I've been successful with all of my e-commerce stores is centering my brand around one particular item that I know that when customers land on my page, they're going to trust what I have to say and they're going to feel a little bit more comfortable when it comes to buying from me rather than a seller that has all of these different items that come from so many different categories. So in terms of which direction you want to go in, it all depends on what you feel more comfortable with. I'm not saying that this seller here is making more money than this one, because this one may be making a lot less than this seller, but it all depends on what you feel comfortable with. But you just need to make sure that you're aware of the differences between the two so that you're going to be able to structure your store in the best possible way. All right, so moving on to one of the next things that you guys need to bear in mind as you start to grow and scale your dropshipping business, which is that you want to make sure that you use dropshipping as a tool for you to find out which item is selling well. And then from there, you now want to find a way for you to now buy the item in bulk, either send it to your house for you to ship out yourself, or ship it to your office space, or you might want to send it to a third-party fulfillment center that's going to ship out all of your orders on a daily basis within the country that you can see that the item is selling well in. So for example, what I like to do is build Shopify stores and list products on my eBay stores, test them out, dropship them. From there, I now buy the product in bulk from my supplier in China. The website that I use is Alibaba.com when it comes to buying items in bulk, because that's just what I've used over the years. Of course, there's other options out there, but when it comes to me finding suppliers, I like to find them in China because I'm going to be able to get a good price. And I like to use Alibaba.com when it comes to me doing so. And the reason why you don't necessarily want to dropship over the long term when it comes to growing your e-commerce business is due to a number of different reasons. One of the first reasons is that if you leave the fulfillment side of things up to someone else, there's always going to be minor issues that might happen. Even with my own business and the fact that my actual team in-house is shipping out orders for me on my behalf, there's still issues that I have to deal with on a regular basis. Of course, if I was to compare the issues that I have when it comes to me dropshipping products compared to me shipping it out myself, the issues are going to be much less when it comes to me and my team doing it rather than someone else doing it for me. Another reason is that you're going to be able to customize your orders in the way that you want to. For example, if a customer orders 3 or 4 different items that you might be selling, you're going to be able to put all of those items into one box and send it out to that customer. And of course, if you are going to continuously keep doing it that way, where you're using multiple different suppliers, sending out multiple different packages to the same customer, it's going to eat into your profits in terms of all the postage costs that you're going to have to pay. But one of the biggest reasons why you eventually want to have the mindset of buying the products in bulk as you grow your dropshipping business is because you're going to be able to save money over the long term when it comes to actually buying the product. Because if you guys wasn't aware, you're going to have to pay a little bit more when it comes to buying one item at a time when you're dropshipping it, rather than if you bought, let's say, 30, 40, 50 units at the same time, because of course the supplier is going to give you a discount if you buy in bulk. So just to give you an example of what I'm talking about, I'm going to jump back onto the laptop and I'm going to use these type of items as an example. So I found this product on AliExpress, which is a tooth cleaner. And as we can see on AliExpress right now, they're currently selling it for almost $8. However, if we go over to Alibaba.com, we can see the exact same product that's being sold where you're going to be able to buy it in bulk for around $4.13, which is almost half the cost, which means that if you did get to the point of being successful with dropshipping this product, let's say from AliExpress, I'm not saying that you should use AliExpress, I'm just using this as an example. If you are successful when it comes to dropshipping this product, if you now switched over to buying it in bulk and then you go over to Alibaba.com to get the exact same product and order around 30, 40, maybe 80 different pieces, depending on how many you're dropshipping per day, then you're going to be able to instantly cut your costs down by almost half. So that's a quick example of what I'm talking about when it comes to eventually getting to the point where you're now going to buy the product in bulk. Rather than trying to drop ship year 1, year 2, year 3, you eventually want to find a supplier that's going to be able to give you wholesale prices so that you can eventually make more profit with your business so that you have more money to reinvest back into it. All right, so moving on to one of the final things that I'm going to talk about in this video that you guys need to make sure that you think about when it comes to starting your dropshipping business is that you want to focus on trying to get warm traffic rather than cold traffic. And when it comes to the differences between these two, warm traffic is where you already know someone has got some sort of interest in the items that you're selling because they've actively searched for that product. However, cold traffic is the opposite, where you don't really know if they're interested in buying the product or not, but you're still trying to push the product in front of them, hoping that they buy it. And I would say that at least 95% of all of the sales that I've made with all of my e-commerce stores is by going after people that I know have actively searched for that product and then now positioning my product in front of them. That way I'm going to be able to increase my chances of being able to make a sale. And this can be done in so many different ways. I would say that listing your products on eBay is a great way to get warm traffic because someone has to actively type into the search bar an item that they're searching for your product to be presented to them. And when it comes to getting warm traffic onto your Shopify website, this could be done in so many different ways, but one of the main ways is by using paid ads. But not just any paid ads. You shouldn't be using ads like Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, because of course those are social media platforms where those people haven't actively gone onto those platforms to buy something. Instead, you should be using things like Google ads, YouTube ads, Bing ads. Reason being is because they're search engines, which means that someone has gone onto one of those websites, typed in a specific keyword. When you now showcase your website in front of them, you're going to be able to know that it's warm traffic, that there's a higher likelihood that they're going to buy the item from you. Now, there's so much more that goes into trying to get warm traffic. I've just kind of touched on the surface, but if you want to watch a free webinar where I go into a little bit more detail on exactly how I use things like Google Shopping ads to get to the point of making over $1,000 every single day with a lot of my dropshipping stores, then click the first link in the description down below. Or if you rather watch another YouTube video where I break down some other important things that you need to make sure that you're doing with your dropshipping business moving into 2023 that I didn't really talk about in this video as well, then make sure you click the link right there. Check that video out straight after this one because I've already gotten a lot of good feedback from it and I'm sure that it's going to help you out too. All right guys, I'll see you on the next one. Make sure you stay safe out there. Peace.